Доброго дня, шановні пані.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. UCMC starts its work. We're happy to welcome those who joined us here in this room and who are watching us on stream. Today we are presenting the course on Prometheus platform. The course is called Disinformation, the Types, Instruments, and Protection Ways. This presentation is prepared by the Hybrid Warfare Analytical Group, the Stopfake organization, and Internews Ukraine. There you will find the hybrid warfare methods, how to counteract hybrid influences, especially in the area of information. This is free of charge and you can upload it from the platform. We have Miss Oleksandra Tsekhanovska here today. She is an expert on information security. We have Miss Olga Yurkova, who is the author of the idea of Stopfake ordered project, and Mr. Korolkov, manager of the projects of Internews Ukraine. Online stream of our press conference could be found on our website, on Facebook, and in other social media of UCMC. If you have questions, please post them in those social media, and by the end of today's press conference, we will ask them. So, Oleksandra, what is the difference about this course? How it is different from some others? Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, those who are watching us online, and to those who joined us in this room despite all the threats which we hear about the pandemic. This press conference is called Presentation of the Online Course. But actually, when I was on my way here, I was thinking about this event as about celebration, because today we're celebrating the release of the product, which is a joint project of the Hybrid Warfare Analytical Group, Maidan, SOS, and Stopfake, NGO, and some other stakeholders who contributed to it. We have passed a long way from the first idea to create such a course up to the release of this course on Prometheus platform. And I believe that this is extremely important in these times when a lot of people can use the course for distance learning in the situations of lockdown. And when we just started thinking about that course, from the very beginning, we have set very ambitious goal in front of us. We were thinking about journalists, both at the central level, at the regional level, about politologists, political experts, about professors in all those areas. Yeah, all of them are quite familiar with the issues of disinformation and with the scope of this problem. All of them perhaps are thinking how to counteract this problem. and thinking about variety of ways how we can counteract, we understood that we need something exciting, something very creative. We need to understand what is fake, how to counteract or mitigate its impact. But at the same time, you understand that you should think about more broad things, like, for example, how disinformation in a variety of its manifestations can be used in course of a hybrid war as a weapon. And for Ukraine these days, this means not dealing with the issue which you see in front of you on Facebook in the news release, but the issue is more deeper, what this entails for the country, for the government, for the nation, and how it influences big numbers of people. That is, we have to imagine the road map for all those who are whose task is to counteract the hybrid informational influences. The course contains 5 models, despite all our ambitions at the very beginning. Perhaps someday in future we will enlarge it, extend it a bit. Each model contains at least 6 lectures. We all know how much people are keen to describe the problems and how rare they can offer some recommendations. That's why the 6th lecture in each model contains specific recommendations. Thus, we begin with the model which is called an introduction and disinformation as a systemic phenomenon. And here we demonstrate disinformation and at all levels in society, and how it can be used by various actors. Quite often we think about disinformation as the one which is used by the Russian Federation, but unfortunately more and more we observe how disinformation is used around the globe by a lot of actors in societies, at the governmental level, at the commercial level. That's why we describe the destructive experience of such countries as Saudi Arabia, China, or Iran. Then a separate model is devoted to the narrative as a part as a main structural element of propaganda. That model was prepared by Lyubov Tsibulska, who was the former leader of the propaganda working group in UCMC, and in this model, we describe the features of propaganda and then discuss who can develop different narratives, which then start a long life. A separate lecture here is devoted to the gender misinformation and attacks on values, and how propaganda may destabilize the gender issue in society. And we advise to become more flexible in understanding propaganda and then counteract it. The next model is devoted to the major instruments and tactics of disinformation. We try to look at a variety aspects of these problems, and this is my topic, and my favorite discussion in this aspect is about the aspect of the global collusion that is about for example, vaccination is the harmful in its harmful impact on society, and a lot of other ideas of the global collusions against humanity. And the next model was supervised by Olga Yurkova. They tried to discuss the content of the texts, and not only the content of the written text, but also the texts in audio and video files. And the last model was designed by Ms. Shandra. She works for Surkovliks, which investigates how disinformation could be used for worsening political situation inside the country, to provoke worsening of political situation. And they study these harmful interventions and the results of which such effort, and how the country should strengthen its public security at the governmental level to counteract this. Thus, we pose rather complicated and multiple goal to our trainees. Thus, after each model, we offer a list of questions to check the understanding of the material, and then we offer a set of tasks. Having fulfilled those questions and tasks, the trainee is able to apply for the free certificate in case he or she had performed 60% and covered successfully 60% of the materials. Here we see our main task to motivate people as much as possible to learn something very important in practice. Today, on September 9th, from 9 a.m. Kyiv time, this course has become fully available on the platform Prometheus. It is free of charge. We are very much interested to get your feedback, because we plan to continue this work to improve the course. But for doing this, we need to understand your needs better. In my opinion, this course is this is only the first step in that important direction. For UCMC, it would remain impossible without all our best partners and stakeholders. And with this, I would like to give the floor to my colleagues from other organizations who contributed to the development of this course. While Olga is preparing to her presentation, I would like to remind that Olga was listed in the New Europe 100 creators of changes in 2016 and TED Fellow in 2018.
Good afternoon. I'm happy to greet you all that we've managed to create this course, and today we presented. And we made a lot of efforts together with our colleagues from UCMC, and the process of work on this course, it is really hard work that was done by the authors of the course and by those who organized some issues concerning technical work and many different details. And we are really happy to present this course today. About my part of the course, let me first say several words about our organization Stopfake. Those who is going to watch this, maybe you will be interested in this information. We were created in 2014. A lot of fakes and disinformation appeared at the time in Ukraine, and now we have a big massive of rejected fakes, and we have a lot of research in this area and narratives that are behind them. And it's great that in this course we have this topic of narrative. And first the definition of narrative and then explanations concerning this. And in this module I try to tell how fakes are used to build narratives. It consists of 6 lectures, and first lecture is overall information, what fake is and why it is dangerous in the context of disinformation. And a lot is said about fake during these years, and you've mentioned my award 2018, but we started to work on this topic in 2016. A lot has been said about fake, but when I speak with people, they do not understand why a lot of attention is paid to fake. This is untrue information. Why it is so important to understand it. And I explained that this is accumulation effect, cumulative effect of fakes. They form some perception in the audience, the perceptions that are introduced by those who want to promote those fakes. And we also bring the brightest examples of fake information, and also how this is used not only in Ukraine but also abroad, because Russia and others they actively use the same methods to build these narratives. In the second lecture I speak about these fakes. I do not remember now some things. I do not know the numbers, but I will speak about the main. So we, fact checkers, those who study these fakes, we speak about initiatives that deal with fakes, and we need even more initiatives in each region of Ukraine. each region should have their own Stopfake organizations because they have local narratives, and we should understand how they work. And in this module, we have information that will be of value. And if you are forewarned, you are forearmed. And if a person knows the mechanisms, then this person will be able to differentiate fake information. And this is not only about Russian disinformation, but also this may be used in business in different situations. So I speak about these projects in Ukraine and abroad, how they work, what the principles are, what information may be found in the projects. Some of the projects have their specialization, and then we say that unfortunately, and this is an ongoing discussion, and there is a continuous discussion in Stopfake and other organizations about fact checkers and their role. So fakes appear once again, people trust them, then these fakes are dismantled, then new fakes appear. And what is the sense in this activity? And I say that this is a complex problem. Fake is a small part of this information war. And dismantling of these fakes, this is just one component of this war. This is an important integral component of security of the state and people. And I speak about it in more detail. Based on research, I say about fact checkers and their value, their abilities, what they are able to do. And as Oleksandra said, I also speak about practical methods and ways to dismantle these fakes, and I speak about the signs of fake information. Some of them are not evident. In Ukraine, there were surveys that show that many people, the majority of people, believe that they may easily find these fakes and reject them, and they may understand what information is fake and what information is not fake. But I tried to provide these signs of fake information, to provide bright examples with the help of pictures, video, and Prometheus and the guys who helped us with the video, they really contributed because there was a lot of work on this video footage and to putting pictures in the right places. And in the result, we have this useful product that will help us to see what fake is and to understand how this unit of information, that this unit of information may be really harmful and it should be timely revealed and neutralized. So we should understand that, for example, if we are manipulated, we won't be susceptible to this manipulation if we are well informed. So my main aim is that the viewers and the readers of our course, that they understand how the system works and that they will be able to efficiently counteract this and to provide this information to others and not to become victims of this disinformation. And they may use it in their daily life, in decision making at different levels. For example, during elections, if we hold some position, and this may provide big change for society and for the world. And I hope that these ambitious goals that we have in our course, I hope that they will be reached Due to the efforts that were made and due to the efforts, I hope, will be provided by our audience that will have this course and pass tests. I would like to thank you for the word given, so thank you, Olga. And we at Ukraine Crisis Media Center, we are really happy to cooperate with different organizations in order to reach better results in our work. And also we are really happy for our colleagues who do important work in this field. We understand that NGOs, they should be the single front and they should fight this problem, and this raises efficiency of the work of civil society on the whole. And this happened this time. Internews Ukraine also prepared the course that is dedicated to another topic concerning disinformation, and Stanislav Korolkov is going to tell us more about it. And these courses, they go into the world simultaneously, and we believe that there should be proper choice. And all those who are interested, they may watch one course and then they may watch the second one. Stanislav, please tell us about your work. Sorry. Good afternoon, dear friends. I'm really grateful to Ukraine Crisis Media Center for this invitation to this event. As Sasha said, that the field of fighting fakes is a big field that should be worked on properly, and Internews Ukraine and others are trying to find these fakes, and there are a lot of organizations in this field, and it's really a pleasure that we have all them. So we present also our course, and it will be available on Prometheus platform. This course is provided by Internews together with NATO Center in Ukraine. Speaking about the main focus that we've made in this course, Alpha and Omega in our course is practice. We believe that we should teach people first, not just fight, but first we should teach them how to reveal these fakes, to tell them about disinformation, manipulation. This is really important. And the next step is to show that, for example, there is a post or some piece of information that is fake, that is directed to distort the picture of the world you have. The task of our course, and we put this task before all our speakers to show to our viewers, to our audience that are going to watch this course on Prometheus, to show how to fight fakes, how to reveal them, how not to become their victim. And our course is also free of charge. We have the same target audience, students, journalists, fact checkers of the first level, higher level, also state officials. So the course is really large scale. And Sasha mentioned that you had discussion about 60 or 70% of scores in your test, and we ended up with the 70% for our course. Now about the structure of the course. 10 modules in the course. We wanted to decrease this number, but then decided to have 10 modules. I won't go into detail about each of the module. I only would like to say that we have a comprehensive view on where these fakes come from. Social media, and we will show how social media is filled with fakes, Facebook, Viber, Telegram, YouTube, And we will show not only the examples how the fakes are spread in the media, but we are also going to tell how to avoid them, how not to become the victim, how to overcome this fake bubble that tries to suck us in. They say there is a lie, utter lie, and statistics. And we have a separate module in order to tell people what statistics is. And then we will tell that unfortunately statistics is heavily manipulated, how to find correct statistical data, sources of information about economy, social sector, reforms, and also an important and big block is a block of digital security. 1/3 of the course will be dedicated to the issue of digital security. And here we will speak about practical things, how to protect gadgets, identification, passwords, and I believe that you have different passwords for different media. We hope that they are not QWERTY 2, 3, 4. If you have such a password, then please change it, because this is really dangerous. And we will tell you how to protect your personal information and organization you work for, how to protect yourself from intervention, and also a separate focus on this digital security that is important for our course. And also the topic of coronavirus and fakes about coronavirus. Unfortunately, there are people who are against vaccination who try to manipulate this topic of coronavirus. And we have a big field of manipulation, Bill Gates, chips, and there is a lot of shame at this topic. There is manipulation concerning coronavirus and vaccination, corona fakes, and we will show bright examples. I can't remember this. When Ukrainians were brought from China to Novi Sanjari settlement, and what happened then. And fakes were created in Vibers groups and Telegram groups, and we will show sources of these fakes, and we will tell how to fight them, how not to become their victim. And lastly, maybe I should have started with this. We will tell our audience about sources of information that they can trust, not only about statistics. I mean reliable sources of information. In this block, there will be information. Victoria Ramanyuk, our colleague, will tell us about photo materials and video materials checks. On the whole, we've collected in this course a big pool of Ukrainian fact checkers, Ukrainian experts. And when we've created this course, I decided that we will listen to our speakers with open mouths, and we will perceive all this information, because this information is really interesting and there is a lot of it. And I'm sure that our viewers, our audience will like this information, because this is really interesting and useful information. Also, I would like to say that this course was created in synergy with Ukraine Crisis Media Center. And we've discussed this topic with Oleksandra, that we will launch our product simultaneously, and we'll deal with more practice and practical skills, how to reveal fakes and disinformation. And lastly, I would like to say that this course will be launched really soon on Prometheus platform, and we are waiting for this course. And the launch of this course is like Matrix trailer that is in the social media. We haven't done thousands, hundreds of thousands of trailers for our course. We just thank Oleksandra for this presentation, for invitation to this presentation. A lot of work has been done here, and I believe that you will like the course, and also, and this is the most important, our task is that the person should open the notebook and to enter prometheus.org, and they should not just read this information and not just to find out this information. They should understand how to check, how to reveal these fakes. So we would like to provide practical skills to our audience. And I hope that this strategy will work. And I hope that you will find a lot of useful things in our course. Please subscribe for our course in UCMC, and please be resilient to fakes. You should not become the victim. So thank you.
Speaker.
Before announcing the session of final remarks by our panelists, I invite you to ask your questions. While you are thinking about possible questions, I will read the questions from our online posts. What is global source of disinformation? People mean that you used some specific cases explaining what is information, what is disinformation, what is narrative, etc. Thank you for this question. The issue of disinformation is in that turn the issue because the sources of information are continuously multiplying. There is the data from Oxford Research. While in 2017, the number of states and governments which were involved in sharing and spreading disinformation and fakes was at level, but within several years, the number of governments and groups doing disinformation had grown several times, and quite often this is done by one nations against other nations. For example, the Russian interferences into the American elections in 2015, and the ability to learn is beneficial not only for those to counteract disinformation, but this is also the ability of those who spread disinformation. And this actually means that many governments, many political parties gain this experience of information and start to use this as a tool internally, when we think about global sources, the closest examples are the Russian Federation and China. I'm saying that not because Ukraine continuously feels this disinformational impact from the Russian Federation, but there's actually research data from the Eurocommission, who had stated that 92% of disinformation about coronavirus and about vaccination was spread globally by the Russian Federation and China. This actually means that we cannot afford staying blind. That is to focus on something which we choose and ignore all other things. We have to remain attentive and focused. Stopfake is focused on the counteraction to Russian fakes, and I took many of my cases, which I described during the course, from this Russian disinformation about Ukraine. What is good, so to say, about those cases, those examples? Because Russia has a lot of opportunities. They can afford many things, and they can finance the trolling centers. They can pay to politicians inside Russia, to pro-Russian politicians in other countries. They can finance bloggers who pretend they are independent, but actually they are strongly sponsored by the public structures, governmental structures in Russian Federation. Of course, this system is very explanatory in terms of training our staff, but also we have to keep in mind that they are also learning further and gaining new experiences and become more and more creative. I would add only a couple of words. So about the sources that inspired us in terms of cases that we presented. When I watch my Facebook news releases, I observe a lot of fakes, although my friends, they look like experienced fact checkers, but nevertheless, sometimes they are caught with these fakes. And this only forces me to emphasize that unless Ukrainians are more resistant to such fakes, the fakes would be extremely strong and influential in Ukraine. That is, the sensitivity to fakes is the key in our counteraction to fake information. And having raised the awareness, having raised the ability to distinguish fakes and to understand what fake is, would prevent people from deceitful perception. Who were involved in creation of your course, whether you involved any foreign colleagues with broader experience? Speaking about the contribution of the Ukrainian Crisis Media Center, and then Vladislav will add about Internews. As for UCMC team, we involved several experts on informational security who have been working for a long time here in Ukraine. As I mentioned, this was Lyubov Cebulska and Olga Yurkova, our colleague. Also Alya Shandra, editor of Euromaidan Press, and the author of a special survey, Surkov leaks, and I myself. We did not involve experts from abroad because our target audience is Ukrainian audience, and for us it was important to speak the understandable language, that is to remain in the same context with our audience. Adaptivity is a key feature, key characteristic of disinformation. Disinformation is peculiar to many states, but what is specific in disinformation? This is playing on the local weaknesses, playing on the local inconsistencies and problems, and then exploitation of those problems. And that's why we wanted to focus on Ukrainian context, but of course we made references to broader international experience. Vladislav? That's a good question. As for us, we involved experts from my NGO, Internews Ukraine. This was Vadim Yarmolenko. He produced the blog about digital disinformation. Then the digital blog was recorded by Vitaly Moroz, who is expert on digital security, and Valery Moroz, who deals with DSS 360 project. As for others, as for other experts, we involved Alyona Romaniuk for our section about coronavirus fakes, etc. As to the video fakes, Victoria Romaniuk prepared it. Checks of statistical information, Svetlana Zinchenko from Fact Check. As for social media, we Facebook and Twitter were covered by Victoria Rybak, analyst from Internews Ukraine, while Twitter, Viber, and YouTube were fact-checked by Oksana Moroz. Then we had a separate block of more general nature, which was called protection against personal protection against household fakes, so to say. For example, you turn off your TV set and you observe that some medicine is being advertised by a person dressed as a physician, and you start trusting this person. And also we provide some recommendations as to manipulations in personal relations or professional relations in everyday life. And again, we did not involve foreign experts from abroad, but among Ukrainians quite often there is general opinion that foreign experts might know much more than our domestic experts. I think it's a wrongful approach. Russia has been testing its disinformations here in Ukraine so intensively that Ukraine is very massive destination point of all those manipulations. That's why Ukrainian fact checkers have huge experience counteracting to and discovering those manipulations. That's why we should not think that foreign experts are more experienced, because we have many Ukrainian checkers who are well trained, so to say, and very much experienced due to the intensive disinformation from Russian Federation. And Surkovliks is a good example of that. How Russia tries to undermine political environment in Ukraine. That is saying that we did not involve any experts from abroad. I nevertheless believe that Ukrainian fact checkers are experienced enough to say their word in this. Since we do not have further questions from the audience, I would like to give the floor to our panelists for final remarks. Thank you. I'm happy to discuss this product. But at the same time, I do not wish to make this a spoiler, this presentation a spoiler to this informational adventure, because I believe this course is an adventure and would be an adventure to those who would register to it. So some final remarks. A synergy of all the actors in counteraction to disinformation is the key. And the launch of two courses, the UCMC course on disinformation and the Internews Ukraine disinformation course, which are launched almost simultaneously, and they are complementary to each other. And we encourage trainees to cover these two courses in sequence. First, the UCMC course and then the Internews course, because the focuses of those two courses are different. While UCMC invites you to late 20th century, the analysis of Soviet disinformation. We present the effects of historical manipulations or manipulations via history, the harmful impact of manipulations in art and literature, while the Internews course focuses more on digital disinformation and security. And these are two different courses, and they cover two sides of the coin, so to say. UCMC is very grateful to USAID, who supported this project, its development, its implementation, and its application. And we hope that this course would fill the gap between those people who think that they can recognize a fake and those who are able to do this. Once Internews carried out a survey, and they found that 80% in Ukraine, 80% of people in Ukraine believe that they can recognize a fake from disinformation. But in reality, this figure constitutes only 7%. This only proves that we have a lot of work ahead, and among voters of different political parties, we have 46% of Shari party voters who think they are absolutely resistant to fakes, which is quite bright example. This only shows that our goal in working on this project was really very appealing. After what Oleksandra mentioned, it's not so easy to add something. That's why I will very brief and thank to all those my colleagues who are unique experts. I am proud that I belong to this team, and I believe that our experts have a lot to say, to share with experts and with people. I had such experience when renowned foreign experts were very much impressed with what they saw and heard in Ukraine. Raising international awareness, raising personal resilience to disinformation is extremely important, and this is actually not an achievement which you can achieve. This is the adventure, and you have to cover this path. Stanislav, Since you are giving me the floor, the last in turn, I do not have too many words to add. Mm, uh, uh, we all exist in digital environment, and one of the most important principles of existence in this digital era it is not only how to call to your friend in New Zealand via messenger, etc. But the adverse side of this coin means that you may face a lot of fake information and coming out from your smartphone, and this could be a big threat for you. This is actually brings us to a philosophic dimension. And of course, fakes can be harmful. Fakes would not bring you to some positive outcome. And in order to prevent this harmful outcomes for you, we encourage you to sign up to the course to be prepared to counteract these harmful influences. And I will finish with thank you for your attention. And I encourage everybody to go to this course. Thank you for watching us online. Thank you for attending this press conference. Unfortunately, Lyubov Cebulska was unable to join us today, and Alya Shandra was unable, but due to the pandemic limitations, they had to abstain from visiting. So I would like to remind you that this online course is already available on the Prometheus platform, which is the biggest distance learning platform in Ukraine. It is available in Ukrainian. Those who wishes to watch it in English or in Russian, the subtitles are available. And we also supplemented this course with a list of recommended literature. And we are very grateful to all the stakeholders, and we strongly believe that I am sure we will overcome these fakes and disinformation. Thank you for attending this event. Thank you for watching us online. And those who missed this broadcast, this stream, later on, this stream would be posted on YouTube. Thank you.